Right now, former FBI Director James Comey is confirmed to appear before the Senate Intelligence Committee next week. He's expected to face questions related to the Russia investigation and his interactions with the president. Heard a lot of leaks on this, nothing yet confirmed. Senior counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway, says Comey's appearance could help set the record straight.
Director Comey goes to testify. I think that will be a very clarifying moment. I would again repeat that in his most recent sworn testimony, it had to be corrected almost immediately. He was off by hundreds of thousands in his projected calculation. But it's more important to have somebody testify under oath, frankly, than to have his friends and his former colleagues out there speaking to the media not under oath.
Let's bring in Leslie Marshall, syndicated radio host and Fox News contributor, and Lawrence Jones, Blaze TV and radio host, as well as a conservative commentator. Great to have you, as always.
Thanks, Leland.
Leslie, ladies first on a Friday. Every day, but we'll go on Friday as well. How much are liberals, shall we say, licking their chops at the prospects of James Comey under oath?
Not as much as you would think. I, as a liberal with chops I like to lick, especially when we talk about Trump and Russia, I don't think we're going to get the answers, and quite frankly, left or right, because the majority of American people want the answers, want the truth. And I think the question everyone wants the answer to is whether or not there was any collusion specifically by the president himself. If that is asked, and I don't think it'll be asked in that manner, James Comey is going to say, I cannot comment because there is an ongoing investigation.
Lawrence?
He already answered that question. James Comey already answered that question. He said there is no collusion between Donald Trump. There's no evidence to suggest that. He's investigating the campaign when he was there, but there was never any evidence. He told this to the Senate chairman and a ranking member. That's already been discussed.
But Lawrence, isn't there a fear here among Republicans that if all of a sudden Director Comey testifies as that original article said, that the president essentially asked him to back off Mike Flynn? It may not be a crime. We'll get to that in Karl Rove in a minute. But it certainly doesn't look good.
Well, he perjured himself if he goes on the record to say that, because he testified before Congress on May 3rd and said that the president has never tried to do that for political purposes. So I'm interested to see, the former FBI director, is he going to walk that back? Because then we have other problems.
Well, and to your point, and it's the same one that Kellyanne Conway made, that if all of a sudden you have a discrepancy here in the sworn testimony, there's something there. Now to the heart of the matter in terms of whether or not the president said, please back off Mike Flynn. Here's Karl Rove.
The President of the United States is the head of the executive branch. The FBI is not independent of that authority. And the President was asking, I've just fired this guy. He's been humiliated in front of the American people. Can you go easy on him? The President could have directed him to drop the investigation. And unless there was underlying corruption, that is to say, the President benefited in a corrupt fashion from that decision, there's no crime.
Karl Rove's not an attorney, as far as I know. Neither of you are either, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So we'll stick, though, to the politics of this, Leslie, in the sense that, again, it may not be illegal, but it may also not look all that great.
It really depends what was said. And when we talk about what was said, the president is denying what James Comey has already discussed and written in a memo. And James Comey, the way he presents it, there are two things here.
Leslie, we don't know what he wrote in the memo.
Speculation, right?
What I'm saying, well, we've had a lot of speculation. The bottom line is did the president say, look, this is a general who has served his nation well, go easy on him, back off a bit, or bury it? Very big difference. It can be the difference between a crime and not a crime. It can be the difference between asking a favor as the commander-in-chief and obstruction of justice. And it does come down to, though, unless there is a recording of this conversation, he said against he said, and one of those he's is commander-in-chief.
Hold on, guys, real quick. Leslie, you got the first word. Lawrence, you get the last word on this. How does the White House try to put this behind them?
Well, I think they just stick with the facts, because if there was obstruction of justice, why didn't Comey tell the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General. That is his duty as the FBI director, and somebody that claims to be the superhero of the FBI and bring back the integrity. He's going to have to answer that. If he really felt like there was obstruction of justice, why didn't he report it? And he didn't until he got fired, apparently, if he goes on the stand and say that.
Well, and to that point, he has a duty if he feels as though justice is being obstructed. Certainly a question that he will probably get in many different forms. He is a lawyer, so he'll have an interesting way to answer them, we are sure. Leslie, Lawrence, appreciate you both being here. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Leland.
All right.
You
Heather?
too.
Thank you, Leland.